Hey there, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is for teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. But perhaps you're not a new college instructor yet, but you want to be, and you're not sure how to get to that point. And so I thought today's video, I'd show you my approach to the job search, finding either adjuncting or full-time positions as an instructor. This is how I do it, how I'm currently doing it, right? And so if you're not sure where to start, I hope you found this video helpful. Obviously, it will depend on what country you are from, but in this case, I'm gonna approach it as someone from the US. Now, the first step is figuring out how you want to teach. So do you want to teach fully online, or do you want to teach in person, or a combination of the two? Obviously, if you want to teach online, then you don't have to go to a local university. You can just see anywhere in the world that is looking for an online instructor. Versus if you do want to be in person, then you have to decide then, do you want to stay local or are you willing to move? So that's something to consider too. So in my case, I'm looking for both online and then locally in person. So we'll go ahead and show you the main website I use first before moving on to the next approach I take to look for these jobs. So there are different ways of approaching finding jobs. And so I like first going to websites that just actually have a whole list of jobs that have openings currently. And so higher ed jobs is my favorite for this because you can just go down and you do by category. So I can say faculty, and then you go down by what it is that you do. So in my case, I go to liberal arts, English, and literature. And then you can go ahead here, and if you want to, you can do some filtering. So types of universities, state, right, country. And so in this case, I can go, all right, well, I'm looking for one specifically in Florida. And then it will go ahead and filter for those. You can do it by priority, or you can do it by date posted. At this point, date posted is your best bet because that's one of the most recent ones have been listed. So they're probably still looking for people to find, for that job. So in this case, you can just kind of go through, and as you can see here, so you can see when it was posted and the schools and cities in which they're located. And so this is obviously mostly in-person stuff. You can go and see if there's anything here. So in this case, there's no filter for online. You might have to go one by one and see. A lot of these have, we're looking for someone to do either online or in person or hybrid, and there's no specifics. So in this case, this website works best for in person with the potential for there to be online posting available as well. And so you go to each of these, and let's say you are interested in this one. You click in, and it'll give you information. You often see open until filled for these later ones. So that's why I said patience is so important when you're applying for these jobs. But you can see information and if it's a right fit for you. Do you have what's needed? What do you need to apply? And then usually at the bottom there, they'll have the application information. So this is one option. I know Chronicle of Higher Ed also has their own site. MLA has their own site. So you want to see where are their websites that just have lists of all the jobs that are currently open that people have posted on this particular website. So this is option one, higheredjobs.com. Now, there's also LinkedIn. So you can go to the jobs portal and you can say, I'm looking for English instructor job or English professor job, or obviously whatever it is that you study, and see if there's anything available. So if I click here, English instructor, it'll tell me, what's available currently. And so I can go through and see, how long ago was it posted, the information on what I need to apply. So there is going to be overlap between them, but you might potentially find some new information here on jobs to find. Now, so obviously websites with lists are great, but then you also want to go to the websites of all the universities and colleges near where you're located if you want to stay local. So for example, if I wanted to see, Florida International University jobs, right? And then I search for that. Usually the first link here will be HR, right? Human resources. So you can go ahead and click into that, and it'll take you to the actual page on the university website. And so in this case, we are prospective employees. So we go ahead and click on there. And then you can say, okay, what kind of job are you looking for, right? So you can look for ones in the last 10 days, view all jobs, or in this case, I can just say English and search and see what might be available to me. So this has 32 jobs, but as you can tell here, they're not all going to match perfectly. So you can go through and do it this way, or you might say, well, specifically English is what I'm looking for here in the filtering by department. And now I see, okay, so they are looking for an adjunct or lecturer in the Department of English. Click on here, right? In this case, the close date has not passed yet, right? It's November 2021. So I can see, okay, do I fit this? And if so, how do I apply? Is right here, and so on. So this is one way of doing it. If, potentially smaller colleges, smaller universities might not have posted their ads to these lists of, websites. And so you just want to keep on going and see, okay, any single campus nearby, go to their HR page, look at their prospective employee page, and just see what jobs are available. If you're open to more than just faculty positions, you might do something like, let's say, Miami-Dade college jobs, okay, and then not Indeed, right? We're looking for specifically the college's website, prospective employees. And again, so you have over 500 jobs, so you can do it by campus, by department, you can do it by keyword. So in this case, English, and I have 41 matches. Again, not all of them will match what the term actually is, but I do have here, okay, well, here's an adjunct faculty position, keep on going. There's a writing center tutor, maybe I'm up for doing that to get just a leg in. And so you can kind of go through here and see what appeals to you. Maybe you're open to doing more admin work, so you might see, what kind of admin jobs are available at the particular university, right? So in this case, it ends up matching everybody. So I would say you might need a more specific job title. So you'd have to do some research and see at this university what are people who work in the admin department or the admin aspect of a department, what are their titles? You can do that research on the website, and then knowing that, go ahead and search for that title here in the keywords, right? There's also the job faculty. So you have admin, you have staff, so you can click there and see what's available too. Maybe only look for ones posted this year to make sure that they're probably still open. And so now you can go through and see which ones do you think will fit your qualifications. So option 1, look for list of jobs. Option 2, look for actual jobs listed in the HR page of universities nearby. Now, if you want to look for an online position, then in that case, you can actually just search for, college instructor online jobs, right? And see what might pop up here. So Indeed.com might be a good element there. So you can go ahead here. And you can see here, online adjunct faculty, right? Potentially you want to do it a bit specific as aware. You can go through and see if you are a good fit for these positions. Okay, so that one's a bit more general because it can be any school really that's looking for an online teacher. Now you're finding all these job ads that might potentially work well for you. So my idea here is you want to make sure that you create some kind of spreadsheet or at least some kind of document about these jobs. And so in my case, I use Google Spreadsheets for this in order to keep myself really organized. So I'll show you my screen here as well to show you what information I include in this spreadsheet. So here's an example of an old spreadsheet that I did when I was on the job market last year. And so in this case, I had the position, right? So then I had the name of the position, the institution, the location, the due date for the application, what requirements there were for the ad, who my recommenders are. So I deleted that information, but you want to have, if you need recommendation letters or references, put their names here. And then position details. So I looked at the job ad and looked for specific key terms that I needed to know. So when I was writing my cover letter, I could be very specific in what I said, right? And so you have here, for example, first year composition, upper division courses in writing rhetoric, and or online teaching. So I want to make sure I emphasized my writing teaching experience versus my literature teaching experience. Okay. The fact that they wanted someone who works on the core curriculum in the writing program, I put that down as well. Okay. Other details that I thought were important, right? So not so much when it said what they were going to actually hire for, but that they might have said things that would be important to know, right? So in this case, what their mission is, right? The fact that they want culturally diverse populations, right? Because they have students with, diverse populations on their campus, right? So we want someone who's taken grad level rhetoric and comp courses, and who has taught composition at the post-secondary level. So, just information on things that I want to really emphasize in my materials. And then I also put my particular strengths just so I can really kind of see what should I emphasize. You can also show this to your references so that they know what your particular strengths are for this job. And then if they have information on the workload, you go ahead and put that down, and then a link to the job ad. I do recommend printing the job ad because sometimes they're taken down after a certain amount of time, and you want to make sure you have that information if you do get, a callback and now you can't find the job ad. Yes, you can have this information, which is why I have it there, but printing out the job ad can be very helpful as well. And in this case, green just meant that the application has been sent. So you can change it to red if you don't get, a response, or you can change it to yellow if you're in the interview stage, however you want to. I like color coding, potentially. And then you can just kind of go through. As you see, this 7, why is it a 7 when it's the first job? I did also do a ranking of what I was most excited about versus the least excited about. So you can go ahead, and once you have all the job ads that you think could work for you listed, maybe you want to say, okay, well, this is the one that I really, really want, and then this one I will take, but it's not obviously the highest on my list, just so you know what to really emphasize, like what to spend most time on when you're working on your materials. Something to keep in mind is that if you're applying to adjunct positions, usually they keep you on record for quite a while, 6 months, if not more. And so you might not hear back for quite a while, and then bam, now you have, an email saying, hey, we want to talk more to you because now they need adjuncts. So in my case, I applied to a adjunct position last year, and lo and behold, I got an email recently saying, oh, can you send me, this information, from you? And so obviously I did. So you never know when it comes to adjuncting. A lot of these ads, especially now, also have like rolling deadlines where there's no exact date of when you would hear back. So keep that in mind. It is definitely a patience game to a large extent when you're looking for these adjuncting and non-tenure track jobs. Okay, so obviously if you are looking for tenure track jobs, that's a whole different story. Yes, you can use these same tools, these same spreadsheets, but that happens earlier on in the year rather than this current time when this video is going up. So early summer can be a time to look for adjuncting positions and potentially even full-time non-tenure. But if you want to have the tenure track jobs, right, then that would be earlier, more so in the fall semester where those ads go up. So just keep that in mind in your future job search. If you found this video helpful, do click like below and let me know, and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any future teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources.